It's gonna be a laughing fucking joke when the landlord takes me to court and the judge is gonna look at her and says, "You mean to tell me that you brought this man to fucking court for non-payment of rent and you received a rent payment March 31st? Post-dated? So you got the rent for March. And you're evicting him for not getting the payment of March? Are you trying to get for fraud? Is that what you're doing? And now you're trying to sue him for a leak from your toilet, damage to the house? Was it his toilet that leaked, or was it your toilet that leaked? Now it seems here that he has a seal that was placed in your toilet 6 years ago by your husband, which is the wrong seal, which caused it to leak 6 years ago. And he showed me videos that your roof leaks. The ceiling fell in. There's a hole in your ceiling. Your ceiling, there's a hole in his apartment that fell in that you did not do any attempts to repair. And is it true that you said to him, oh, the reason why you didn't repair the hole in the ceiling is because you know the roof leaks and it'd be stupid to repair this hole in the ceiling because it will happen again? And is this true that you told Mr. Kish that you cannot make any repairs to this house because you have no income? Is this all true? Well, it looks like Mr. Kish is countersuing you for everything. And one last thing. Is it true, Annie, whatever you prefer, you gave Mr. Kish a 3-day eviction notice for him driving his ATV around your house, which was in drought season, which was in poor condition of grass, and that you had him so scared that you had him make a deal with you that he will cut your grass, weed eat your grass, and shovel your snow, put salt on your snow for 10 years. You never took nothing off his rent. You never paid him for gas or nothing. Of all these years, he did it on his own. Why? And you're evicting him? This man took care of your house for 10 years. Your lawn, your snow, your ice. He paid for the salt. You didn't pay for nothing for 10 years and you're evicting him? I'm holding you attempted to court. We're going to countersue you for lawn service. We're going to sue you for... Oh, there's one last thing that he showed me. Was the mold in his bathroom? You told him that he needs to, because he's been living there so long, that he needs to scrape out the caulk with a razor blade and scrub it with a toothbrush with bleach and wait for 3 days to dry. So he's not allowed to take a shower for 3 days until it's dry, and then re-caulk it, and what, wait another day? So you're talking about him not taking a shower for what, 2 weeks for your process of him repairing your shower because he's been living here for 16 years? You think that's fair, Miss Annie? There's one other thing. He also told me that you told him he needs to clean your gutters for your garage because they're growing trees in it. Now, when is it his duty to maintain your house, your garage, your land, your property, your home, and you're evicting him? Now, to tell you the truth, I wish I had a tenant like Carl James Kish III. I would have him living there free if he did all this for me. You owe him for services. And I'm going to be back with this. And we're countersuing you for damages of his time, his money. for taking care of your property. I'll be back with this decision. You're going to end up owing him. And is it true that you have no job, you have no income, no money in the bank, you're living with your mother, your husband left you, you have no money to fix up this house, and you continue to take his rent, and the tenants from downstairs take their rent and spend it on your own? You never put nothing to the bank, and you told him that you're making him move because you can't afford to keep the house. Now, why don't you just do a foreclosure, let the bank take the house? Or, because, is it true that stops you from selling the house if the bank takes the house? Now, that's fraudulent. Again, you cannot sell something that's not yours. And is it true that you told Mr. Kish to keep his mouth silent of all these issues? Or he would need to find another place to live, and because of him making all these YouTube videos about the mold in the basement, about the holes in the ceiling, about the roof that leaks, about the toilet that's, falling through the floor because it leaks? And is it true that he made a report to you that the water is leaking from the roof onto live wires and it could start a fire? And is it true that when he takes a number 2 on the toilet, he has to sit sideways when it's raining so the water don't pour on him? We're going to hold you contempt of court, and we're going to make you pay all damages to Mr. Kish. We're going to take a recess break and let me make my decision what you shall pay him. Now, is it true that you do have an income, you do have money, but you never told Mr. Kish? Because he says rumor is that you're going to pay your nephew $10 an hour to fix up the house while Mr. Kish, gets evicted. And is it true that you're getting a large dumpster outside of the house to remodel the house? Where are you getting all this money? All this money is going to be going to Mr. Kish. You understand that, right? Yes. And we do find out you have any kind of money, anyhow, anywhere, you're going to be owing that to Mr. Kish. Do you understand that? You're called a slumlord. And you harassed him for 10 years about taking care of your lawn, your snow, your grass, your weeds, your gutters, your doors, your windows, your trim, your locks, your house. You told him that he needs to make repairs to your house because he's been living there for so long, and that he pays cheap rent. You raise his rent twice, and still he has to take his shower in a moldy shower. And that is it also true that you told him to do his laundry because it smelled, but he said to you that the smell was towels that he laid around the toilet to soak up the water and moisture so he can use it? And you told him to do his laundry because it's stinking up the house? Is it true that he had a pile of laundry up to his head because he could not go in the basement to do the laundry because of minor problems with vehicles? You burned up his vehicles riding back and forth to do the laundry. And you're charging him for gas? Is this true? And he has no control of the heat? He has an electric stove. You're making him pay half of the gas when no one's living downstairs? How can you do this? And he also made a comment that sometimes when winter would come, he had no heat because you were not around to turn on the heat. That he had to use his electric heater to heat himself to stay warm. And that's the cause why your pipe broke in the basement, because they got so cold that they were busting. Because you had no heat on in the house. Only heat you had in the house is from his electric stove that he used to stay warm and his electric heater? He burnt out 3 electric heaters trying to keep warm. Do you know this? Did he ever tell you this? He said he has. And that he was upset that he's paying you for gas and paying for electric to heat himself. And he has no control of the gas. None whatsoever. There's not even a meter. How can you charge this man for gas that he has no knowledge of what he's using? Just because you estimate? Ma'am, it was a bad decision for you to evict this man. It's hard to find good men like this. He's been taken care of. We recommend that you sign the lease, or you sign the title over to Mr. Kish. And you're going to owe him $1.5 million to fix it up. His house, his land, his property, his garage. Yes. You're going to have to sign the title over today to Mr. Kish. He earned it. Yes, we will consider it kind of like rent to own. Yeah. Well, in his case, Mr. Kish, he's been taking care of the house for 16 years. We're considering it as maintenance to own. Any person taking care of a house for 16 years deserves to keep the house himself. Have a good day.